Well, I have you set up here to see inside the port, to see when the guide moves, if it moves. I'm I'm ready to take the second guide out of the spare head I have, and I have you set up here to see inside the port, to see the guide move when it does, which hopefully it does. So let's see how it goes. Oh, that moved really easy. The first one went harder than that. Now I have to put a different pilot in. Let's see how it goes. It's coming out real nice. And another guide out. Now let's see how the last one goes. See how tight it is. Now this is the guide that wasn't installed all the way into the head. Oh, it came real easy. I got to put in my longer pilot now. There. And the last one is out. Oh. Now I wrapped emery cloth around the drill bit. That's why I'm cleaning the guides out. I spray it down with WD-40 to help keep the paper from loading up. Now let's check it. It still won't go through. Now I'm checking the valve in the guide. It still isn't cleaned out quite enough to get the valve through it. So we'll keep polishing it. If I had a mandrel the right size for my son and hone, I'd be using that, but I don't have a mandrel this size. And through it goes. Flush it out a little bit. Well, that feels real good. So enough for that. Now on to the next step. I'll have to admit, I come out here look at this just because it makes me feel good. So, well, I got to get back at it. So here I am with 4 valve guides. These are the 2 that came out of the original head, and these are the 2 that came out of the spare head I had. In hindsight, I probably could have used the spare head instead of the original head. I just never thought of that. You know, I never looked at the guides that close. I was just figuring I was going to use the 4 original heads. But seeing I already had the original head all cleaned, surfaces remachined and the like, it was better just to switch guides. Anyway, this is the guide that had all the terrible slop in it, and the one that is considerably shorter. And we'll set the 2 from the replacement head over here right now. If you remember, or if you look back to last year, I remember I did this. Not all this one guide that had all the terrible slop in it and is shorter also is a completely different guide. As I always talked about mismatched parts. See, all the other guides have this little boss cast into the side, and this one, the shorter one, doesn't have any like that. It has 2 flats on the top, which the other ones don't. All the rest of the other ones are this style. So at any rate, I have to use 2 of the guides. This one, which is terribly worn, that one's definitely out. Of the 3 that are left, the 2 out the replacement head and the guide that was in the intake position of the original head, all are quite good. But the best one seems to be the one that was in intake position on the original head. So the one that was in the intake position of the original head, I'm going to use for the exhaust position. And this the exhaust valve it's going to be mated up with. And it's a pretty darn good fit in there. And out of the other 2, these are the ones that came out of the replacement head. This one appears to be in the better condition, just slightly. It's barely noticeable than the other one. So this is the one that's going to be used on the intake position for the intake valve on my head. It is a good fit. So next, I have to go put these 2 guides in my head, and we'll see you there. I'll clean the guide hole with spray clean. Clean the guide with spray clean. I'll put bearing and sleeve retainer. I don't know if it's really necessary. On the guide. Get it sitting in there squarely. And start to push it in. Now I'm putting what was the intake guide in this head into the exhaust position. Because of all the guides, it appeared to be in the best condition. Now I continue with the longer driver that should take it all the way home. Just about there. Just like that, I can feel it. Shoulders tight against. So one guide is in. Now how does that go? Second verse, same as the first? Line it up. Put a spacer on it to start. My jack quit working. Let's try it again. Now it's working. Now I have my longer driver in, and my jack quit working again. I think there might be moisture in it, froze up. I warmed the jack up a little with the torch, and now it seems to be working good again. So we're driving a second guide home. Alright, now I can feel that one's seated. So both guides installed. Now I'll take it back in the basement and get back at seating valves. Well, here I am. Much less play in the valve. I know some of you won't like it, but I switched some of the valves around to get the valves that have valve stem wear in the tighter guides, and valves that have less valve stem wear in some of the looser guides, to try and get all of them to have about the same amount of clearance. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for today, and tomorrow I'm going to get at seating valves, maybe even cleaning heads and installing the valves in them for good. So thanks again for watching. I hope you're enjoying it.